we're going to start this show with our favorite underdog. And I've got an ugly one for us on Thursday night, one that is just not going to make you feel good about yourself when you bet it, if you bet it. The Philadelphia Flyers, they're plus 195 in Minnesota on Thursday night. The Wild are they're a tricky team. Like they're good, they're solid, they're not going to beat themselves. They're very good. I feel like they're a very good team in, at managing games. If it's, tight in the third period, they can see games out really well. But it's just hard to kind of ignore what the Flyers are doing right now. They're 9-4-1 in their last 14 games, and they have a +6 goal differential in that span. It's not like they're getting, truly lucky. The shot share in those contests, the shot attempt rate, they're just under 50%, 49.3. So they're really not getting pelted. They just lost in overtime to the Kings. They're actually on a 2-game losing streak. They lost to the Jets in regulation, lost to the Kings on Tuesday night in overtime. So I think that this is a pretty good time to buy back in on the Flyers after this little dip. It's 3-4 they've lost, including one to the Blackhawks. Their only win in this 4-game stretch is against the Red Wings, who are terrible. But what do we know about this Flyers team? They're just going to make you earn every inch of ice out there. And if you're not one of these teams that can rely on, an abundance of individual talent, let's say teams like, Boston, Toronto, Colorado, that makes them a live dog against the rest of the league. And I know that Minnesota has, Kirill Kaprizov, but the rest of their forward group, it's not all that great. You never know with their goaltenders. Philip Gustafsson has been really good this season, but do we trust him every night? I certainly don't, despite his form. And then Marc-Andre Fleury, we've spoken a lot about his roller coaster, past 5 years. So no need to go there, and no matter who they go with. So if in a battle between two teams that I think play, pretty close games often, two teams that struggle to gain separation, I think this is pretty tight. So getting nearly 2-1 on Philadelphia, still playing hard. They've proven us wrong big time this season, and I'm in again.
Yeah, they are. They're scrapping hard. I didn't quite have the gusto to pull the trigger on this one, but I see the thinking. I think it could be another time to talk about an angle that I've really been liking about how much better the East is than the West. It's really showing when you see head-to-head splits. The East is around 181 wins, 148 losses, counting the overtime losses. So, true, obviously, what matters when you're talking about gambling. So I think that's an interesting note, because we keep seeing these teams like Buffalo that go in and they're just lighting up Western sides that are supposedly top sides or middle of the pack sides. And then when Buffalo gets out West, they would be a playoff team. So I'll use that as a good time to get that note in there in this East versus West matchup.
Yeah, and it should be noted, like Minnesota, they've been pretty inconsistent all season. They're 6-5-2 since the holiday break, and their usually terrific defense is not there right now. 2.7 expected goals allowed per 60 minutes at 5-on-5. That is a bottom half of the league, not where we usually see them. And they rely so heavily on that defense because they don't have the scoring, punch to drag them out of games where they're losing the ice tilt battle. So they're under 50% in terms of high danger chance rate as well. I think this is, a team that just doesn't profile well as a big favorite right now. And going against a team that will give you a 100% honest effort, even on the road.